finished it because it was frozen on Mandy's screen.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
So we're just, okay, thank you everybody that is coming early. We're making sure our little bandwidth, okay, behaves well and help us to go live on YouTube. There it is. Can you mute it? Whatever you have, we finished it. Okay, that's it, Teresa. I'm live. No worries.
Awesome. I gotta mute mine as well.
Yep.
On here. And I know.
Okay.
Technology.
All right. There we are. All righty. My face, I'm like, okay. So that's one thing for sure. We have fun.
We're trying a new setup here.
Let's get comfortable. Okay. Okay.
Okay, hang on. It's still waiting. Two people waiting on the YouTube. So I don't know what the lag time is.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you know, little lag. So.
Yep. I'll let you know when it goes live.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm seeing it live.
You are?
Yeah. You just need to refresh.
I did.
Trying to see the former cast.
Let me go back. Let me start over.
Yep. Just refresh your YouTube window.
Yep. All right. How are you guys today? I think we already did that.
Doing good.
Busy morning, Monday.
Very, extremely busy morning.
But that's what happens when you're ready to launch 2 new channels.
Yeah,
you are expanding increasing the number of products that every user can save with any plan or any upgrade. We just took it above and everything. We're giving hi Brenda on YouTube. So we are pretty much, we're gonna share with you today, not only the beauty of the Pro plan, there is more data that you transfer, but that's not all about, that's really not the way that I like to announce our Pro plan, okay? Because it has so much more, right?
Oh yeah, it's funny when we talk about List Perfectly and our origins, we're sellers. Clara and I came from a reseller background. And as many of you know, we built List Perfectly to solve our own business problem, which was not only getting our listings from multiple sites, but also how we can take advantage of the description field and sell more. Because what we found is the rumor that's out there that, people don't use or read descriptions is totally false. We actually found the complete opposite, that descriptions are vital for selling your product. And crucial. So that is actually the heart and soul of List Perfectly. And the Pro plan embraces this concept of put information that's buyer relevant into your description, lay it out in an organized fashion so that buyers can quickly scan your listing, get the information they need, and make their buying decision.
So when Mandy says lay it out on a format, okay, what we do is pretty much you answer questions. We're going to show you pretty much you're answering questions, and then through those answers, we're going to format, okay, and give body to the product description of your listing. So what we found, you got to understand, 10 years ago when we came with this radical idea, okay, no, images and free shipping will not help you grow your business. No. So when we came with that idea, everybody looks at us like crazy. And of course we are, but we love what we do. And is what that passion, that in that need to really see what really makes your business grow. And like I said, we were full-time resellers until we just started to, last year, we started with List Perfectly full-time. But we truly understand what a reseller has to go through. And this webinar is dedicated for those resellers that maybe they don't need a faster way to cross-post, but they want to really improve their listings and add more content, so that will create organic sales. And we already know it's working. Our users and the Pro plan are the most loyal users. So we want to share with you all the changes we've done.
Yep. And so we're just setting up a couple of things in the background here, but we'll be able to dive in quickly.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. So do you want to talk about, for example, okay, why don't we go ahead and start, with the pro plan. So what kind of, we talk about the ideal user of the pro plan, okay? We talk about the ideal user, Mandy, and what would make, okay, the difference? What would you say is the main difference between business and pro? What would you say from your perspective?
Okay, yeah, a couple of things. So the description builder is probably the biggest one. The fact that we actually give you, it works similar to the business plan. You have very similar fields, except you get more. And you get the item condition field, you get shipping weight,
shipping dimensions.
Yeah, which is handy.
Those are huge.
Yeah, it's huge because a lot of times you want to weigh your item. At least for us, one of our basic practices when we list is we weigh the item when we list. We don't wait until it sells and then weigh it. So you want to put that information somewhere. So we weigh the item as we list, and we put it right there in the listing details. And then when you cross post, it's already there. So you have your shipping information readily available. And I think that's key. The other thing that we do is by really giving you more fields to build your description. When you measure items, like let's say you're selling a table and you want to provide measurements for your buyers, you can measure, and if you sell internationally, like for smaller items, put those measurements in there. We're going to convert them from inches to centimeters, so your international buyers understand and can conceptualize how big your item is, because if they use centimeters and you're giving inches, you're making them calculate and do calculations, and nobody wants to do that.
I want to throw a number. Guys. Okay, this was when we did the first prototype of List Perfectly. It was like almost 6 years ago. Gosh.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Okay, so imagine going multi-channel at that time, and I wanted to share with you, at that time, my biggest channel was eBay, and I only had 20% of international sales. And I was scratching my head with Amanda. We love testing things. We love testing what makes a buyer buy. We will test endlessly, right? So then we tested converting automatically inches into centimeters. Literally in a quarter, I was able to get at least 60% of my sales started become international. Just send it with tracking number. I did with tracking and confirmation, okay, signature request, okay, even internationally. We were sending it insured just to make sure that we were covered. Never had a problem. It was such a moneymaker. That changed our lives.
Yeah, it is. It's, you don't think about these things because we're used to USA, everything's in inches. But when you come from another country, it's like, I don't really understand inches. So, yeah.
Right. So to me, that's another huge perk of the pro plan, is because I never did that because I was lazy. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. If somebody really wants this, they can go to Google and convert it. But with List Perfectly, it's like, it's there. And my clothing sales, international clothing sales, have increased significantly. I haven't done any math to check the stats on it, but I just know that I'm selling clothes internationally now instead of just other things.
Yeah,
No,
that's
absolutely
great.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And every seller's story, it's different. Okay, it's every perspective, every shop, every account. So what we want to do, why don't we go ahead, Mandy? So then this is ideal, like we said, it's a plan. The pro plan is ideally for those resellers that are not just into cross-posting fast from marketplace to marketplace. This is more ideal to slow down a little, okay? Not because the software is slower, okay, or anything that, okay? It's just to slow down and think you're gonna build your listings natively from scratch in List Perfectly, okay? But the pro plan is gonna have more fields than the business plan. So at first glance, you're gonna feel like, wait, this is gonna take longer. But wait, we're gonna share with you why it has a little more fields and why we did this. What is the reason behind our madness, Mandy?
Well, obviously to help you sell more. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, that is our 100% our goal, because we could easily just be a cross-posting tool and, you just push your listings. But if they're not great listings, you're basically pushing not great listings everywhere. We want to help you maximize your listings so you sell better, you sell more. That's the goal.
Sell more faster.
Yep.
Yes, that's right. Simple
Faster
as.
is key.
Yep.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Teresa. Yeah, so like we were saying, this is more designed for users that want to list natively in List Perfectly. You're not intimidated. For example, okay, if you are a Mercari reseller, okay, that is used to list from the Mercari, or maybe an eBay, a new eBay seller that is used to list from an app, okay, a mobile app, maybe List Perfectly Pro Plan is not the best choice right off the bat, okay? Because you're gonna feel that it's a little longer, as Amanda is gonna be showing right now.
Yeah.
For a native eBayer, for a native Etsy reseller, that looks like piece of cake, okay?
Yes.
So we're gonna show you right now that if you can show us, let's go and see how do we create a listing from scratch on List Perfectly.
Sure. All right, so.
And this one we can do without the demo. We can just show the form slowly, okay?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Let's share first the form, you know, how to create natively.
All right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So on the List Perfectly dashboard, you can add your product from this Add Product button. We give you a couple of ways to get you there, but here is the simplest way. Click Add Product, and it's going to open up the List Perfectly listing form. And you're going to see it's a little bigger. There's a little more fields to fill out.
All right, yes. And this is where we're going to slow down. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go slow here, okay? So you see so far, okay, it's pretty much alike to the business plan, okay? So this is it. And so far, and then we find these additional lines: style, patterns, season, care, country where it was made. Then we have condition, we have measurements, we have bottom of description, if you please, keywords or tags, pricing, as usual. This is pretty standard on every plan: pricing, shipping, and shipping, dimensions, and all this is only this is only relevant to the Pro plan. And then the rest is pretty much alike. So as you can see, it's a little longer. And there is the measurements that we were talking about. And we're gonna just simply do really quick, okay? One quick listing, okay? So why don't we go ahead and show, okay? After we show the form, why don't we go ahead and show, you know, how to, List Perfectly does it.
Okay, so here's where we recommend, very similar to the simple and business plan, you can template everything. So we always recommend creating templates. We find this is the simplest way to get started with a listing.
All right.
And so if I click my templates here, I'll just see what I have created. I'm going to select this band t-shirt. And just like that, everything that I've previously set up for my band t-shirt has been applied with the template. And the reason we recommend templates is especially when you get into this longer form, you want to minimize all the length of that form as much as possible. And when you're selling t-shirts, right, you typically have the same information that you put in a t-shirt template. Like maybe you want to put your measurements armpit to armpit, or you know, chest or length, whatever you set up. This is the beauty of it. You're not using our pre-made templates, you're creating your own, and you're using your own language, because this is, at the end of the day, your product that you're selling. So it should have your personality.
I couldn't agree more, Mandy. Yeah. So you can see from title. So these templates, hold on, before we scroll down, you can see when she applied a template, which is optional, okay, but it's the fastest way to expedite the listing process. She automatically populated title. You can automatically populate everything, brand, color, everything you want, okay? Whether it's clothing or not clothing, as long as it's a product and it's tangible, we can do it, okay? So then, okay, as you can go down, okay? All right, we see all these additional fields that I really wanna.
Yeah, and so the reason why you see blanks here is because, again, this is a template. You may not want every single field filled out, but you can. Like if I had a template that filled in every single one of these fields, the template would fill them in. But in this case, because this is what I consider a starter to a listing, I don't want to have to delete very much.
Mhm.
So this would be my typical template for a t-shirt. And then I would just fill out the particular details about this one. So let's say it's
Exactly, like color,
yeah,
size, okay?
Uh-huh.
Those are very particular, maybe brand, but maybe you made a template for tops or for shirts, whatever you want to call it. So
Yep.
that's the way that you're going to be, and these fields are all optional. Okay, every seller is different, and we believe the more information you provide, the faster you will sell it, because it makes you differentiates you from other sellers. Buyers are hungry for information, and just an intro saying ideal to, I don't know, this piece of furniture matches ideal with I don't know, an eggshell room. I don't know how to sell furniture, right? But anything you can say that adds a little personality to your listing and separates you from other sellers will close the sale.
And I want to give you a tip. This condition field right here will get filled in on eBay only, because they're the only ones that have a condition field where you can fill it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, eBay allows you to put in the whole condition if you want, but personally, I recommend putting in just some generic text in there to direct people to look at your description for your condition. So, I mean, from here, I can say the actual condition, I can go on, but I just strongly recommend, just FYI for eBay, direct people to look at your description. So if they see in the condition field,
yeah,
oh, refer to my description, they're going to do it. Whereas if you don't tell them, they may never look at your description. eBay is an exception there.
Yeah. And that's what it is full disclosure. You're doing full disclosure to a buyer and protecting yourself.
So I'm just going to put something very, very generic there. And here's my measurements that I went ahead and filled in. So as soon as I hit submit here, you'll see those measurements actually converted for you as we talked about.
And there's so many additional, you're going fast.
Okay.
There's so many more additional. You need to enter more measurements because maybe you have too early or anything that is irregular shape. Okay, we have more fields for you to do so. Again, these are optional. Don't get intimidated. Yes. Okay, don't let it scare you. Okay, and that they are absolutely optional depending on how much data you want to enter on your listing.
Yep. So this is handy for suits, suits, especially 3-piece suits. You may have to measure all of the pieces. And so that's when you would really want to take care of those additional measurements.
All right. And then bottom of description, keywords and tags, all that stuff. That stuff is also optional. Mm-hmm. Now this is what makes, this is a popular request. This is what differentiates shipping, dimensions. This is what differentiates list perfectly and weight. This is what differentiates a pro plan from the business plan. This is something. Why, Mandy?
Because we're going to take the shipping weight and add that to sites that have shipping weight like eBay and Etsy.
Great. So so that's what we have with shipping, dimensions, weight, and then that's it. Then we have the what do we have there? This the inventory management that lets you know.
The inventory management is the same as it is on the business plan. So we covered that in the last webinar.
And is it the same as a simple plan?
Slightly different. Simple plan does not have the analytics. We consider the analytics this part here where you'd enter your cost of goods, your fees, shipping, etc.
All right.
That's all analytics.
Thank you. So we have analytics, we have inventory management that is equal to the business plan.
Yep. So now I'm going to go ahead and click save here so we can see what the description that we talked about will look like. And here it is. So I entered if you remember on the description, I didn't have this layout. I didn't use bullets. I didn't say size. I didn't have my measurements. I didn't have to write all this and type it out in that description field at the top. our software did this layout automatically. And so here is, as we talked about, the measurement conversion for your international buyers. We're doing all this automatically. So that's why the Pro plan has more fields. It's because we are building your description. Anything you leave blank, we'll ignore. So if you have, a lot of people might get the Pro plan simply for the extra shipping fields, and that's fine. All you have to do is leave all these fields blank, and then we will ignore them. You can put your entire description in the short description. But we do recommend taking advantage of this benefit of the Pro plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So from here to, you might want to know, okay, I created my listing in List Perfectly. To cross-post it is identical to the business plan. There's no difference there. And so what would you like to?
Yeah, let's show. So now we show how to do a listing natively in List Perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay, that was great. What about showing, I think we can show, okay, how do we do cross-posting from marketplaces with the Pro plan? What about that?
All right, so with the cross-posting, we have some videos. Which one would you like to start with?
So now we have listings. Why don't we start? Okay, so we showed how you can do listings natively in List Perfectly. We have a video where not only you can start with the Pro plan listings natively, that's ideal, okay? But, okay, you can also import active listings from any of the 8 marketplaces we're integrated with and get them into List Perfectly, okay? That's another way to get your listings into List Perfectly. Can you show me, Mandy, how to go from eBay to List Perfectly?
All right, so eBay.
That's a common request. Yeah, eBay to List Perfectly.
Sorry, there it is. So yeah, let me get this all set up.
All right, so what we're gonna show you right now is how to go in bulk. We just show you how to do one listing. So now I don't feel like doing all my listings right now. I need to also quick sales. So I'll start doing the listings from scratch, but what am I gonna do with my 5,000 listings on eBay? So we can help you with that too. We're gonna show you now how to import in bulk your eBay listings. You can do this with any of the 8 channels, okay? We support any of them. So you can go in bulk into List Perfectly. We can do many other things, but we're gonna show you just this one right now. All righty, Mandy. So you can see we are logged in our seller in our active listings view of List Perfectly. We're selecting.
Let's make sure you can see. Can everybody see, Teresa?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So that's the active listings view of eBay. You can see how there is a button that says start selecting. And then you select the active eBay listings. And from there,
List Perfectly does the rest. And the nice thing is that you can just allow this to run. You don't have to stand by your computer and wait. You can actually go to a different tab, do some other work, let List Perfectly run the import, and then you can, and like we said, you can do other things in the meantime.
Yeah. I'm in the process of importing a bunch of, I've got 4,600 eBay listings, and I'm importing a bunch of Halloween stuff into List Perfectly so I can push it out to the other marketplaces. And I'll do 30 or 40. I've got great internet speed, so I can do 30 or 40 times. And I just let it run in the background and do other stuff. And then it's like, oh, those are done, and I do more. So the
only caveat I would say, you know what, Teresa, just in case, I want to say to people, well said, Teresa, but I want to add that careful if don't be casting Netflix or anything else.
Right, yeah.
That's
Instagram Live.
Yeah, your internet speed absolutely makes a difference. And I have great internet speed, and I don't have 22 kids on Xbox or people watching Netflix or any of that stuff. So that does absolutely, it's a caveat you have to be aware of.
Yes, yeah.
But I mean, 10 or 15 at a time is just as fast and just as easy.
Yeah. Yeah, but we do recommend, just let this run, go make coffee.
This is all automated. We're not doing anything. This is it. We didn't.
Look, Mom, no hands.
No hands. Free hands. So you just let List Perfectly copy each of those listings that we do, and we do it automatically for you. You don't have to click save. You don't have to click edit, okay? We'll just get it, all your listings, whether they are in eBay. We're just showing you for these demo purposes, we're showing you eBay, but we can do this with any of the 8 marketplaces we support. You wanna do Depop, you wanna do Tradesy, anything, okay? You can bring those listings into List Perfectly, whether it's leaving those listings temporarily for one day or a month or a year, what you decide. Okay, we pretty much we allow you to do all those levels of customizations with your account and still going. So you see List Perfectly still going listing by listing, like we said, and it's opening a new window per listing that you selected on eBay, and making sure that we are saving those listings into your catalog. What we call your catalog is your collection of listings that you have decided to save permanently or temporary with us. And there it is.
So there they are. These were all the listings that were done in bulk and they're ready to go. And then you might wonder, okay, so now they're in the List Perfectly catalog, and maybe I want to tweak something with the title or something like that. It's very simple. We have an edit button right here. You just click it, make your edits, and then save it. And then you can bulk export right out of the List Perfectly catalog in the same exact way as the business plan.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you brought that up, Amanda. So even with bulk import, please note, okay, that we're not pushing things automatically on your behalf. At all times, you have control. Like Amanda said, you can click this button that says edit. You can click this button that is for duplicate or template. You choose, okay? But this is optional. You don't have to. You want to start clicking this away right now without editing and send it directly to another channel. You can do that too. Why don't we show them how to go from List Perfectly? We have another video. We have from List Perfectly. It's a popular request. I want to show List Perfectly to Facebook Marketplace.
All right. Let's grade that.
There it is.
Here. And let's do our share.
All right. Thank you, Mandy.
Yeah. Let me find the right
one.
one.
I think it's that one.
Nope.
No? Okay.
It's got to be that one.
All right.
Okay.
Huh. No.
No, that's it.
Ah, you're right.
That's
oh,
it.
Look at you.
Let's make sure that you can see the right
Yeah,
screen.
Teresa, do you see that it's perfectly active listing screen?
Yeah, with the vintage 80s cuffs, Yankee sweater.
The Yankees,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna show you right now. This is how to take those listings that you just imported from any of the 8 marketplaces we support. We're gonna take them to, in this case, we decided Facebook Marketplace, and we're gonna share with you how to do this in bulk.
All right, so we'll just click here.
Thank you, Mandy.
Yeah, and if you see, we have little check boxes on the side of each listing, and you just select the number that you want to cross post, select where you want to cross post it, and then our software will take care of the rest. So we're not pushing these listings. We're not just going to say, okay, you push this button and all of a sudden they're live. We don't do that as a rule. Why? Because each marketplace is unique. And they are always changing. They're always updating things. And what you did yesterday on that marketplace might change today. So we give you the opportunity to review each listing on the marketplace and make sure it looks exactly the way that you want it to look. The worst thing is that you push a listing live. There's a lot of services that will do that. You click a button and poof, and it's on there. But something got missed along the way. Yeah. Something went wrong in transmission. It maybe missed a field that changed on that marketplace. And so what can happen? An item not as described case. And that's the worst thing that you could do.
Your reputation as a seller is everything. Protected at all times with the right information for your buyers, and you will erase headaches in endless hours of disputing. Oh my goodness, and what are headaches? So that was, if we can rewind a little again and show again. So we're selecting listings directly from List Perfectly that you might have started from scratch in List Perfectly or imported from any of the 8 marketplaces we are integrated with. In this case, we selected Facebook. and we're gonna take those listings in bulk to Facebook Marketplace, okay? We don't do yet business page. So I just wanna clarify that. You can see how List Perfectly automatically took all your information into a formatted way into Facebook Marketplace. We are just selecting, for example, condition, things that are very particular to that specific marketplace, which could be a category or something like that. And then that's it. And then you move on to the next and move on to the next.
Yep. And then as you can see, I don't know if you can see at the top, there are several tabs open, and that's what List Perfectly does. We take all of those listings that you selected in bulk. We're going to open multiple tabs for each product has its own tab. And then when you're done with one, you can just close it out and then go to the next tab and do the same thing. And it takes seconds, really, for each product. It doesn't take long at all.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. So now, so we've done, did we do marketplace to marketplace?
I don't think we did.
No, let's show that, you know. So we've done, so we show you how to do from scratch listing in List Perfectly. Then we went List Perfectly to Facebook Marketplace. Now let's go from, oh, I love it. Yes, Poshmark to Tradesy. Thank you, Andy. Oh, I love my favorite.
Sure.
Yeah, that was something. So you can see here, we're sharing with you.
Let me just close that out.
Thank you.
Otherwise Zoom gets a little confused. So
Thank you, Andy.
sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's start the sharing the screen. All right. Yeah, that one.
Go.
And share.
All righty.
Teresa, can you see my clothing roll? Okay.
Yep.
All righty. This is our real shop, people. Okay, this is real. So we're going to show you from your Poshmark shop. Okay. You're going to go to your active listings view, and there you go. You're selecting, they become green. In this case, we're selecting Tradesy. We want to export in bulk our listings from Poshmark to Tradesy. And as always, List Perfectly per listing that you selected will open a different window, right? And will start automatically populating all the data that your listing has. In this case with Tracy, you gotta select first category, and what else? It went a little fast.
Category and the subcategory.
Categories,
So
yes. Let's
let me
rewind
go
a
back.
little,
Yep.
okay? Thank you,
All right,
Wendy.
so first thing, Tradesy requires a category first for their listing. There are some sites that do this. Tradesy is one of them. You would just click the category that your item would be best with. And then once that's finished, List Perfectly will begin the copy process.
Exactly. So that means that if you selected 5 listings, okay, List Perfectly will open on your behalf 5 different windows, okay? And until you do not select the category, okay, you can't just, don't sit there waiting, okay? Select the category, because then we start populating the information, okay? If you keep waiting there, we will not push it on your behalf, okay? So you can see here how we're finishing the listing by entering the shipping information, pricing, and there's your listing directly from List Perfectly.
Yep, and then just like that, you go to the next tab. We finish one, you go to the next tab, fill in the category, and then List Perfectly will continue on.
Yep. All right. So that's regarding Poshmark to Tradesy. I think we have another one also to share.
All right. Let's see.
Let's see, man.
Any questions in the meantime?
Let me see if there's any. There's none there. There's someone.
Oh, thank you for helping us on YouTube.
Yeah, some questions are, what is the max catalog limit can hold? And I responded it's 10K, but List Perfectly will work with you if you need more than that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
And do you have to do anything special to sell on Facebook? No. And then I just reminded people that the issues that some sellers have commented on, that it's hard, that we shouldn't use title brands in our title, because people get
the listings get deleted.
Yeah, and they get banned without any without any notification or understanding of why. So that's it for now.
All right.
Okay. All right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right.
So this one, we're going from eBay to Poshmark. And it's the very similar process. Start selecting, select all the listings, and then you'd stop. And again, this is the bulk feature. You don't have to do bulk. Just keep in mind, you want to do one at a time, you can do that. And the nice thing is, if you did one at a time, you could do one and send them to, all different marketplaces. Like you could do, let's say Poshmark and Etsy and Tradesy. Some people like to do that. Take one item and then just send it to multiple marketplaces. You could even select multiple items and send it to multiple different marketplaces. We're just showing you the simplest way to do it right now, but you choose what's best for you.
Exactly.
That was a question in YouTube where they asked if you could do multiple to one platform or various, and I did write that you could do it, but my experience is that if I take 15 items and I cross post it to Etsy, I'm much faster because I'm doing the same thing 15 times in a row rather than doing Etsy and then Posh. It's like, oh wait, what is this and where is that button? And so it's just, I've tested it out and it's just much faster for me to do 15 to the same platform, then go take those 15 to Posh, then take those 15 to Tradesy and so on.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of List Perfectly. We're not imposing our listing practices. You can do the Teresa way, you can do our way, you can even do, we have Liz here, so you can do Liz way. Everybody has their different way. Whether you wanna, maybe you just wanna, you just like to go from marketplace to marketplace. That's what's working for you. We just let you know what, honestly, after 10 years, well, in her case, 15, okay, what as resellers, what made us successful as resellers and allowed us to accomplish our dreams and make it happen, which is List Perfectly, which wasn't easy, but it's so rewarding. Reselling is so rewarding, and this pro plan is what took us to the next level. Yeah. If you look at all of our listings on whether it's any channel, eBay, everything, all of them are formatted like that for a reason, because that's the way we're that's our listing secret, our secret sauce.
Okay, so a new start has a question on YouTube, which is, are you using the beta List Perfectly program right now for this video? And then answer that, and then explain to the group, to the audience, the difference between the beta and whatever it is, because it does cause some confusion in the community.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I always beta. What is a beta version? There is for List Perfectly. I always say for List Perfectly. Okay, betas vary. Okay, there is companies that they're doing freeware. Okay, which is free software, and their betas are really untested. Our beta products are extremely tested, not only by us that we're resellers. We have a whole team of a brigade of resellers that test professionally at all levels. We test our beta version. So our beta versions are not just a developer that came and just created something and we put it to the market. No, we put a lot of effort and quality control. What makes us different is the quality control in how analytic Amanda is to literally hear whatever concerns you guys have or whatever needs you have to make it happen. So that's what we do, beta versions in List Perfectly. This is our definition and the way we manage it. This demo was done with the current or regular version. Right now, List Perfectly does not have any beta versions out. So that doesn't mean that we're always functioning with a beta version, okay? My biggest advice, don't get stuck with labels, okay? List Perfectly, just know that List Perfectly is software that we're always innovating and making it better. That's it. So it will require upgrades, okay? And you checking and being active with us if it's not working with you, and let us see, if you need an upgrade or eventually if you want to test the beta. But the beauty about our beta is that we never push our beta products to all of our users. It's just a voluntary process that you have to even read a disclaimer and then go ahead. Okay, I want to be a tester and download it, okay? So that's a beautiful thing. It was done, this demo. No, this is the current version. We support all those channels, and anything we're showing you is what you see is what you get.
Okay, New Start says, I just wondered because it looks different than mine.
Ooh, she could have an older version.
You might have an older version.
Yeah, if you have an older version, I'll be the first one to tell you advice, upgrade to the latest extension, just because it makes things faster, smoother. Like the platforms change, like Macari's always changing. eBay just had a bunch of changes. Google changes. Like there's just so many changes that it's just, I always, as soon as I see that there's a new version, I always upgrade because it's always better, faster.
And I want to note about this too. I'm glad we're talking about this because the beauty of List Perfectly is that, yes, we have a software platform, but the engine that is the cross-posting engine runs on your computer through your internet on your computer. And
it's it's a Google Chrome. You go ahead and Google it. Okay, it's a Google Chrome extension. So there, we're giving you the secret sauce. So we are, you want to call it web app and mobile app. We're a multi-friendly app, whatever that is.
Yeah, and so it really depends on your browser being configured in a in the right way. Depends on your computer being up to date. It depends on your internet being strong.
All right.
So when we talk about updating your extension, there are occasions when we push the update automatically to you, but sometimes it doesn't get to you, which is why we have instructions on our site for how you can easily, it takes 30 seconds, remove the extension and reinstall it. It takes care of all the issues.
And this is Google, people, okay? This is Google because we're pushing to you all at the same time. And she gets it, Teresa gets it first. And then for some reason, I just push it from my laptop and it takes to me an hour later, a day later.
Or a week later, or a month later. We don't control that process.
That's why I'm always asking, can you please reboot? Okay, so rebooting, it triggers a automatic sync and upgrade of your Google Chrome browser or your Microsoft Edge browser, which is what we need for cross-posting and inventory management control. The rest, you can use your phone, you can use your tablet with any browser, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so.
Okay, so they say sounds good. So I think we answered their question.
Oh, good, okay.
I love it when that happens.
Thank you, Teresa. So let's go ahead and friendly reminder, the Pro plan is $69 a month. It comes with 500 listings by default, okay? No additional cost, okay? That you can permanently or temporarily save with List Perfectly. You can save right now 500 listings, delete it in an hour, and it's ready. You can get another 500 listings. You don't like that because you want to save it permanently with us, there is upgrades in between, okay? And just they come to a penny per listing. So safety and peace of mind for a penny. Not that I always want to, more than selling a product, I always want to help people. And I just cannot tell you the value for a penny to have a listing that is saved on a safe place. And then if something happens with marketplaces, you always have a repository. Or if you sold out, okay, and then it's returned a month later, you have the listing. So listing templates do not count against these 500. Sold listings and templates are unlimited too.
Yeah, I mean, if someone were to ask me, okay, I put all this work into my listing and I want to keep it for a year, would I pay 12 cents for that? Heck yeah.
Thank you, Mandy.
So let me just say kudos to List Perfectly, because a new start LP just said, just so you know, I just became a customer.
Oh, thank you. That makes us happy.
So congratulations, a new start. Your reselling life is about to change for the better.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, we definitely, after we finish this demo, I want to share a little more about your journey with List Perfectly, something that I can't get time. Sorry, people. Not only I know Teresa personally, but I am being an objective reseller here. She's a full-time real reseller. So I want to share that after we finish the demo, because it's something I really get excited. So getting back to the Pro plan, so we said sold listings and templates do not count. So we have business upgrades. And another thing that comes with business plan that I always recommend, if you're gonna invest, anything you invest on, okay, I always say, measure it, see if it works for you, because what worked for her or her will not work for me. And that's the thing with List Perfectly. Not only we allow you to do the same thing in many different ways, but we allow you to analyze your sales parameters, your behavior, what you've been doing, your profitability. We also give you CSV download files. So if you want to take that data, whether you want to give it to your accountant, whether you want to merge it with another spreadsheet, so you want to analyze maybe in detail, okay, your multi-channel performance, you can do that too with CSV file. Mandy, show us, please.
Yeah, I'm happy to, but remember, we covered it's the exact same as the business plan. And so let me see if I get my analytics. And actually, Teresa, do you have your analytics?
Let's do that.
Did such a good job.
Yeah, let's
I should have this ready when we do this webinar, but I don't. Just give me a second.
No
Yeah,
problem.
no problem, no
No
problem.
rush.
I'll
So
show
let
a
me
couple of things in the meantime.
yeah, show that. So as I give information to the audience, so what we did recently, this is new. So if you've been with List Perfectly, let's say a couple of months, okay, we just added this weeks ago, almost a month, okay. So you're gonna notice under products, there's sales analytics, okay, just before download CSV. That sales analytics, if you do not save your listings with LP, will be empty, and you'll be like, there's nothing there. Yeah. But if you save your listings with List Perfectly, you are entering how much you sold it for. You're discriminating what your shipping is, okay? Maybe you're entering the cost of goods, okay? We provide all that data, and we will in exchange offer you these beautiful, thank you, Mandy, dashboard that she created. And then not only that dashboard, we will show you how we have those listings again listed on a very nice formatted way. It looks like if it is your default listing view, but it's not.
Okay,
Right. So
I'm ready. Do you want me to share?
One second.
Okay.
I'm going to share a couple of things.
Okay.
So this is what's really neat about this view. On your main dashboard, you don't have the ability to inline edit. On this one, you do. So if you, for example, want to catch up on some sales from last month or last week, this is probably the quickest way to do it. And this is when you're not using the sold button to end listings across all platforms. All you're doing is entering in your analytics. You come here, and I'm going to disable it for a second. This is the normal view. Right here under your pagination, you see enable inline edit. You click that, and all of a sudden you have the ability to enter all of your shipping information. If I click on cost of goods, I can enter my cost of goods, click update, and I could just go down the line like this and enter cost of goods for all my listings. I can enter my fees. If it's sold, I can enter the sold price, the shipping, the profit. For the charts to work, we need 3 different pieces of information. We need to know where the listing sold on. So you have to click that it's sold. Let the system know you sold it, and where you sold it. So you want to say Etsy. You want to make sure only one location is selected, because otherwise it's going to say, oh, I sold it on Etsy and Poshmark. And it's gonna alter your graphic charts and your the data that we render to you. Yep. So then we need the actual sold price. So I'm going to go to total sold price, and I'm going to enter a made up price. Let's say $50. And if I want, I can do fees. But for the chart, the other thing that we need is the date that it's sold. So we can accurately show you when it's sold. So I'll say today. And now all of this saved. I'm just going to simply refresh my page here. And then the month chart is going to pop up. You'll see when it finishes loading. So let's scroll to the top. Yeah, there it is. There is my eBay sale for $50 that I just entered in, and using inline edit. Etsy. So, I'm sorry, Etsy. Thank you. So many channels. Yeah. So Teresa, we're ready for you now.
Yes. Okay, so let me grab my screen.
Oh, you know how I like to do the intro. So Teresa, not only she started with us a year ago, being a native eBay seller, and that's great. Then her other gig was Amazon, and that's great. Okay, we love eBay, but diversifying is what we believe. Okay, diversifying your presence and your products in multiple marketplaces is the way we believe you should grow your business organically. Okay, it's what worked for us. Okay, and let us show you. This is real data. What Teresa is showing. This is not for demonstrational purposes. These are her shops is real. Her data is real. Please go ahead, Teresa. Share us with us.
Yeah. So let me just tell people that I am lucky enough. I'm the luckiest person on this call, because Clara and Amanda live in Phoenix, and they belong to my eBay Sellers Meetup group. And so I got to meet them in February of last year. And so we started talking, and I loved this, and I saw the value in it, and they did the soft launch in May. So I've been using it for a year. I loved it. And as Clara said, before that, I've been selling on eBay since 1997 and on Amazon for 5 or 6 years now. I am absolutely an eBay girl. I'm an eBay cheerleader. I love the platform. I love the community. But I didn't cross post because I didn't want to learn how to do Etsy. I didn't want to learn how to do Mercari. I didn't even know Kitizen or Tradesy or Grailed even existed before List Perfectly. So so you can see here, this is so I started diversifying, and this is all the same stuff that I've had listed on eBay. And so that's what blows my mind, is that I'll show you the chart from last month's sales, and it really it's a good visual of what cross posting does. So this is just some of my sales. I want to show you that this sold on Etsy, eBay, Mercari, Amazon. And Amazon, I always like to talk about this because Amazon sellers, List Perfectly does not integrate with Amazon, but I love this feature because I can click on it and say, it's a reminder that I have this listed on Mercari and eBay and Etsy, and it's on Amazon. So when I click it to sell it on List Perfectly, it ends it on all the other sites. I have to manually end it on Amazon. And so I appreciate that List Perfectly puts it in there, even though it might cause some confusion, because with a little explanation, I think it helps us that sell on Amazon, not to remind us to remove it off of that platform. I have not had any double sales since I started moving my stuff into List Perfectly and ending my sales there. So, so you can see different, I mean, just Etsy, none of these platforms I was on beforehand. And I listed a bunch of vintage games and puzzles on April 1st, and they have flown out the door. It's just been amazing. So that's kind of like what my sales look like. Now here's the analytics. Now, here's this month, but I want you to look at this month. I only started doing this in April. I'm going to go back and fill in January through March.
Fabric, I remember when you were, I'm sorry that I interrupt you, but I remember when you started, Teresa, and you worked with the fabrics. You're right. Oh my goodness. Thank you for
and so now, you know, last summer I had a bunch of pools that I had listed on Amazon that I got gated in, and I decided because of the shipping, I listed them on Mercari, and I sold 14 of the 16, and that paid my List Perfectly subscription for like 18 months. And I'm like, I'm sold, like I'm good for 18 months. And I got these out of my garage, and I'm so happy about that. So this is my FBA. So this is the stuff that I have that I ship for Amazon, not my Amazon stuff that's at the warehouse. I don't even worry about that with here because I'm not listing it and selling it anywhere else. So $2,800, that was a good month for my FBA Amazon. But then you can see I had sales on every other platform that I was on, and these sales here totaled my Amazon sales. And then eBay was a good month for me last month as well. So I had over $13,000. That was a great, actually I think last month I had over 12. This is year, so I think I have something in there from February. Right. But yeah, so this is, I like to show this to show people that we all think that, oh, I don't want to cross post and you know, blah, 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 nobody wants to buy this on Poshmark, but you know, again, what's selling on eBay and Amazon, or what's not selling on eBay and Amazon, is selling on Poshmark and Mercari. It blows my mind that a Poshmark person will spend $24 on a beanie, and a 3-ounce beanie that cost me $3 to ship and $7 to ship it, when they can buy it for $25 and free shipping on eBay. Yeah, I sell more beanies on Poshmark than I do on eBay or Amazon now. Yeah. Well, it doesn't make sense because they pay so much more in shipping. Yeah. But people are just, they shop where they shop.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you're bringing that up because that is so true. You know, at the heart of cross-posting, and when you get really pro with this, like honestly, you don't want to just throw your listings everywhere. You really want to say, okay, based on experience, after a while, when you start doing this, I know this particular listing will do really well on Poshmark, like Teresa's beanies, but you know, maybe this other product will do better on eBay. So you can really diversify and find your buyer where they shop.
Yeah. So I just wanted to point out, this is something I pulled in a bunch of Halloween costumes from eBay, and I started cross-posting them out to Mercari. And so I'm going to finish cross-posting these out to Mercari, and then I'll probably go to Poshmark on them. But you know, it's like just trying to figure, just taking a look at your things and knowing which platform works better. And Mercari, I'm just going to test it out on Mercari for Halloween costumes, and then you know, Poshmark. It's not really, I'm a little early for that on some of those platforms, but I just decided, you know, I want to get these. Yeah, like I don't know. You know what I'm finding? Why I did this? I'm selling these on eBay and I'm selling them on Amazon. And I think it's because people are using them to make videos in the Corona time. So yeah, and so, you know, like I've sold a couple of these straight jacket things and a scary mask and some stuff like that. So, you know, you never really know what people are doing and why they're doing it. So now I gotta find my stop share screen. So it's just, you know, it's just trying to be creative with your thought process. And that's the reason why I decided to cross post it, because I started selling 3 or 4 of them on eBay and Amazon. I was like, oh, maybe why are people buying Halloween costumes now? Maybe it's because they're making videos. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I like your logic. I like your logic. Well said.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right.
Any questions?
One thing that I
we-
want to show before we
okay.
open to questions, do you mind, unless we have something urgent, Teresa?
No, go right ahead.
All right, I want to just show real quick. It's a popular request, Mandy.
Okay.
Delist and relist.
All
Okay?
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
If I don't show that, okay, people are gonna be upset.
All right. Let me get my screen ready here.
Oh, I won't be ready. No, that's all right. I'll do it another time. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm in the process. I'm in the middle of something.
Somebody's mic's not muted.
Got it. All righty. So I am going to share my screen now.
Right. There we go. Share.
All righty. Can you see my screen?
Yes, your
All
screen's
right.
up.
Since I took a fake product here, I created, this is my band t-shirt fake product that I assigned to Etsy. Let's use this one as an example.
Okay.
So if I click it, I could do, now keep in mind the sold button, you can do it from your edit window. You can click edit here and you can have access to the sold button there. We recommend doing that if you've actually sold the listing. So you want to record for your analytics, you want to put in how much it sold for, the date it sold, etc. In this case, we're just delisting and relisting. So I can
So
do this.
the way you delist and relist, just to complete, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be repetitive, you know, and sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but just to delist and relist, you will use our sold button.
Yeah. And so right here, we have 2 options. It's very similar. You still put that check marks box in like you're copying to somewhere, except now you have a mark sold button.
Oh, can I do it in bulk?
Yes, you can.
Oh.
You can do the same thing in bulk. And so if I select mark sold, it's going to give me an alert that it will be ended on all marketplaces. Now, we didn't actually list this on Etsy.
Let's imagine we
Let's
have it.
imagine
Let's
it
imagine
did.
we having fight like a Teresa, okay?
Yeah. So if we did, it would have ended it on Etsy. And then from here, I would just simply say copy to, go back to Etsy, and done.
Wait, so now we're gonna add a pro tip, okay? So do you have multiple shops? Can I do this with different shops, Amanda?
Oh yeah, and one of our users gave us a great.
But let's first shop. Let's explain how to go to different shops. Can I do
Okay,
that? How do I
sure.
do that?
All right, simply log out and log into your other shop, and you want to use List Perfectly in the middle.
That's it.
So yeah, that's it. So
You don't have to send the shop user ID, passwords.
no, you don't have to connect
No,
your shop.
connect.
Like we're
Get it
automatically,
approved.
we are automatically connecting your shops when you log into them. And so that's all you have to do. You have multiple shops, you simply log out of one, you have your listing in List Perfectly, you log into the other shop, and then you can cross post and copy in between.
Or
Or
pro
Yeah.
tip. I wish I had like some text going now. Pro tip.
or
Or
you can run List Perfectly in 2 different browsers. So we support Google Chrome, as most people know. We also support Microsoft Edge, the newest version. So you have both of those browsers, and Edge will work on any device except older Chromebooks, as far as I'm aware. You can run, you have Microsoft Edge, your one shop open, and then you open your other shop in Google Chrome, still using List Perfectly in the middle. So you can delist using Microsoft Edge from the one shop, and then relist or copy in between using both browsers.
now, you might be wondering, do I need to, once I'm done with that listing, you have the freedom to permanently leave it in List Perfectly or immediately delete it. Okay, if you don't want inventory management, go ahead, delete it. And then you have room for more listings and you don't need an upgrade. Whatever is your journey.
Right here, just click delete.
Yeah.
That's it.
And we do have also bulk delete. So whatever is your journey as a reseller, we're there for you.
Yeah. Very simple.
Yeah, that's about it. Okay.
Okay, so just a
yeah.
couple comments on YouTube. Lotus says thank you because we've been answering her questions, and Liz answered a question about the customer support. So getting a lot of love about great customer support in the YouTube feedback. And yeah, I think we're good. I think we have a couple more new subscribers today. So
wow,
awesome.
Welcome.
Yeah, you guys, your reselling life is going to change for the better. It's like, and the more you get used to doing, I mean, I've been using it for a year, but the more you use it, the more in depth you see the possibilities are, and then you just kind of grow with it. We all started just cross posting like maniacs, and now it's like, I think it was sometime in December or January, the light bulb went off and I went, wait a minute, I should be doing this, this, and this. And so, you know, everybody's journey is going to be different.
Yep.
And I love the fact that List Perfectly has all kinds of different ways to do the same thing, because the way my brain might work might not be the way somebody else's brain works. And it's been really, really great.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know, pretty much. Oh, there is Lorna in YouTube. Hi, Lorna. No worries. We recorded.
Okay, so Lovely, I'm sorry to interrupt. Lovely Lotus says, wow, I didn't know it would remove from other sites. So excited to use this. Yes. If you do have to save it into the List Perfectly catalog, and that's just logical, because if they don't save it in the catalog, they can't know what the item numbers are on the different platforms, and therefore they can't go out and end it for you. So, you know, in the beginning, people weren't really saving it to the catalog, and I think that people now, the light bulb is going off with how, what a great service that is.
Yes, and it's one of the reasons why we recommend creating your listing in List Perfectly first, because you're going to skip a step. Otherwise, you know, if you create your listing somewhere else, then you have to do the step to import it into List Perfectly. Skip the step, create it in List Perfectly, and then cross post. It's going to simplify your life. We'll collect all of those item numbers for you. So it just makes it so much easier.
Yep.
Absolutely. No, that's the way it is. Oh, Vicky's on chat, on Zoom chat. Vicky, I'm still in the just cross posting phase since September, but I love it and it's still worth it.
Exactly. You know what? You use it however it works for you. And I think that's the important thing. You know, if you're not ready to dive in and learn a new process, that's okay. List Perfectly will work whatever way works best for you.
It's to
simplify
simplify your life. I refuse to learn coding, programming, advertising. What else do you need? Videos. No, there has to be a better way, and software is the way to organically grow your business. And in whatever shops you have, even if you don't consider yourself an entrepreneur or full-time reseller, you know, and you're just doing it as a side gig to pay the bills, you know, this is it. This is how you're going to get, you know, you're not a collector. You want to get rid of inventory fast. So you want to accelerate sales so you can make room for more, right?
Yeah.
Liz O'Kane commented on Zoom that importing everything into her List Perfectly catalog is her next project.
All right.
Oh, thank you, Liz, and can't wait. Anything you need, you know, let us know. If any questions, you know, that's huge. Thank you for embracing change, and we understand it. It wasn't easy. I myself, when I'm focused and gung-ho on making money, any changes, it's like kind of stressful. And if the change is not smooth, it's like kind of stresses you out as a reseller. And that's what we aim to do, is make these changes are simple and easygoing as possible, right, Mandy?
Yeah. And if you, like Liz, want to import existing inventory that you've already cross-posted, you can also manually add your listing IDs to all of those listings so that you can keep track that way. You don't have to redo everything.
Yes. No, don't redo things. We allow you
unless
to.
you want to.
If you want to, but we allow you, instead of because that's the concern we have. Well, I love the pro plan, but I don't want to start on my listings from scratch. I already have 5,000 or 10,000 listings live, so you can do that too. You can bring those active listings, import it into List Perfectly, and then take it from there. We'll help you cross post it to multiple marketplaces.
Awesome.
Awesome.
No more questions on YouTube.
Vicky made a great comment. Can we
What
read
did she
this?
say? No, please go ahead.
So Vicky said, I have saved $300 a month in assistant fees, added $3,000 a month in added platform sales, all for less than $70 a month. Amazing. Yeah,
Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you,
Good
Vicky.
point, Vicky. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
That's another thing that you want to do that we, I don't know if you noticed, thank you. So List Perfectly can be installed in any device. So we also give you that freedom. So you can work with your VA, not only save time for yourself, save time to your VA, make your VA work more efficiently, get them into tasks, okay, that are going to be more sales oriented, and the job of getting data that is so grueling. Grow your business like that. Maybe you need that change. And if you need help with VAs, we don't offer that service, but feel free to ask in our Facebook group. We have a lot of VAs that will help you if you need to grow your business. Again, we don't offer that service, but you can feel free to ask that question and our group will help.
Yeah. Yep. So, wow. Now she's adding. I love Vicky.
Oh,
Vicky, we love you.
What is
Now
going on?
my
Okay.
assistant lists about 75 items a week for me for the same price as cross-posting manually cost. So imagine the productivity is just increasing. And that's incredible. I mean, that's what it's about. Use technology to make your life, your assistant's life, everybody's life simpler.
Yeah.
And never mind, one thing I like to point out too, because some people are talking about how, they're still doing the copy paste and manually doing it. There is a human level of error that is to be expected when you do that, and it happens. So, I was talking to somebody that was paying a virtual assistant a couple of dollars an hour to manually cross post. I'm like, man up, pay the $70 and get them to cross post a lot more and make your business I forget how much he was saying he was paying each month for it, but it's like, this is ridiculous because the human error, and if English isn't your first native language, that error prospect goes up. So I convinced him to give his VAs the List Perfectly app and still do the same stuff, but do faster and more accurately. So.
Oh my God, please, another comment.
We got another comment we got to share.
No.
Okay, bravo.
We got to share this with you guys.
Just imported 10 eBay listings into List Perfectly.
That's normal.
While streaming this live stream, and my son is playing his Xbox in under 5 minutes. Wow, that's awesome.
Okay, Liz is just bragging about her internet speed. That's all.
Okay, that's it. We need to move or to Colorado or to Vegas because Vicky and Liz are putting us to shame. Phoenix, okay, I don't know Phoenix, okay? I'm like, this internet that we have at home, yeah, it's been a challenge, but thank you for sharing. Yes, adorable. I pay enough for it. I need to brag.
That's awesome.
All righty.
Well, having said that, thank you guys, everyone, for joining us. And we are here for you. Join our Facebook group. Feel free to ask any questions that you have. We're here for you. And
follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram. And yeah, stay in touch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.